What's up, Trojans? The New York Football Giants end the season in style, sending the Eagles back home, packing with a huge loss that ultimately didn't quite cost them division, but could have. The Eagles lose the division in part because of the New York Football Giants. Dallas beat Washington anyway, so they would have won the division. Props to them. I wanted them to win the division. That's the other exciting part about this, is Dallas wins the division, and we keep the NFC streak alive. No repeat division winners. The Eagles get sent home in disgrace with a huge loss to the New York Giants. And it was so funny because this game was over before the half. You go back to last season, the Giants are a great team off of a hot playoff win. This team looks pretty good. Goes into Philly, loses a horrible game, ends the season in disgrace themselves. Turns around this season, have an up and down year, ultimately a bad season, no playoff berth, nothing. But then they play the Philadelphia Eagles to end the season, and they absolutely dominate. The Eagles realized themselves that they had no chance before the half. Sit Jalen Hurts. Their number one wide receiver, A.J. Brown, is injured. They sit multiple starting offensive linemen, and they just crumble. They give up. Yeah, they score a few points in the second half, but meaningless. The final score is 27-10. It was 24-0 at one point. That is a second half of meaningless football if I've ever heard of one. The Eagles gave up. That was a disgraceful performance by the Philadelphia Eagles, reminiscent of in 2020, when the 2020 NFL season, when they just gave up and not only put Jalen Hurts in, but put in Nate Sudfeld, I think his name was. Their backup quarterback, just to lose the season in disgrace. They did that again. And it's just so funny because it's such good payback for last season. Eagles, you're going to have a terrible time in the playoffs. Your quarterback has an injured fingy. He sucks anyway. Xavier McKinney picked off Eagles quarterbacks twice. He picked off Jalen Hurts in style. The $50 million a year quarterback got picked off by a textbook interception by Xavier McKinney. Then Xavier McKinney turns around on your backup quarterback, Marcus Mariota, who used to be actually a solid quarterback for the Titans. He's now a backup for the Eagles. Picks him off on a screen pass. Your quarterback got picked off on a screen pass. That is hilarious. I know our quarterback threw a pick the play after, but hey, we had backups in almost all season. Our season was a joke and you lost to us. It was hilarious. The Giants had so much fight late in the year and won this game to end the season in perfect style. It's so amazing. And yeah, the game really meant nothing to the Giants. Barely moved in the draft. Giants winning this game go from the 5th overall pick to the 6th, if I have my math right. Maybe it's the 7th somehow. But I heard the Giants would be at the 5th pick if they lost, basically. Maybe the 4th. It was between the 4th and the 6th pick. The Giants were at the 5th going into the week. We're at the 6th now. I'd rather have the 6th overall pick than actually lose to the Philadelphia Eagles because this win was amazing. And the Giants have so much riding on this. You go to one of our, solid wide receivers over the past several NFL seasons. I can't say best because technically a guy like Darius Slayton has led the team in yardage over multiple seasons that he's been here. He got drafted here in 2019, and he's been a solid wide receiver. He's led a lot in yardage. But Sterling Shepard is 5th in franchise history in receptions across his 8 seasons as a New York Football Giant. And it was just amazing to send him off in style. He got the record, 5th, moving up from 6th in this game. The Giants really tried to send him off with a bang. The big win, obviously, but they had him come out last, run out onto the field last with a big announcement and everything. And it was just great that they were able to do that for him. Just a nice way to send off a seasoned veteran, a real team player, and a great guy for the team. Other guys that are free agents that may get an accidental send-off, that really got a great send-off with a win against a hated division rival, my least favorite team in the NFL, Xavier McKinney. He had 2 interceptions in this game, and it had a huge impact on that defense throughout the ball game. Hopefully the Giants are able to find a way to bring him back, but it's going to be difficult. This is a high-level safety that's probably going to demand number one safety money, but he's not necessarily the number one safety in the NFL. He had a great performance tonight, but it's not like he's getting a pick every single game. I think he's a great safety. I think he's a great team player. But, what he might demand as a number one safety could be 18, 19, maybe 20 million, 16 on the low end, let's say. And I think more 12 to 14 is his market. Same thing with Saquon Barkley. If he's out here demanding 15 or 16 million a year, 3 years, almost fully guaranteed, that's not going to be a thing with the New York Giants. Now, unfortunately, Saquon Barkley had 2 touchdowns in this game. It was huge. He had 2 touchdowns. It was great. But he didn't have the yardage he needed to get to 1,000 rushing yards on the year. It's stupid close, but 1,000 yards a year is the benchmark for an NFL season, and unfortunately Saquon Barkley wasn't able to meet that, even though he was able to meet that in 2019 with one less game and a similar amount of injuries. That's a real shame, but at least he had the 2 touchdowns, and I would consider Saquon Barkley's market anywhere between 12 and 15 million, looking more about to the 13 to 14 million dollar range. Probably 2 years, maybe a year and a half guaranteed. Maybe I say a year and a half. What I mean is that extra year would be you could cut him, but it would cost you a lot of money. Same thing as Leonard Williams that 1 year. So I'm just so excited that the Giants were able to end the season in the perfect way by beating the Philadelphia Eagles, getting a little bit of revenge, and really giving them a lot to think about going to the playoffs, sending a lot of their star guys off in style. And you had other guys that are obviously going to be back here in the future, really show up tonight. Dexter Lawrence, as always, goes without saying, but I'll say it. And the main guys I want to highlight here, on offense, Wan'Dale Robinson. He had a lot of key receptions, but not only that, he did a lot by himself after those catches that got the Giants yards, first downs, and set them up to score. This is a solid slot wide receiver, the real Sterling Shepard replacement, and that pick by Joe Shane, it's looking really good right now, that Wan'Dale Robinson second-round pick. Solid draft pick there, it's looking like at least. The other guy, free agent signing this season, Bobby Okereke. He had a huge sack in this game. And, I forget who caused the fumble. Maybe it was him, maybe it was someone else. But he was doing a lot. He was definitely trying to get a fumble if it wasn't quite him that caused the fumble. He was all over the field in this game. He's a guy, he's a mainstay of this defense, and one fun thing he did that I really liked, it didn't quite work out for the Giants, was they were trying to do, the Eagles love to do this tush-push play where they have guys push Jalen Hurts forward a yard, and it works for them almost every time. There's probably only 1 or 2 times you can point to where it didn't work in a key situation, but Okereke tried to jump over the offensive line, take him out as he got the ball. Absolutely hilarious. Didn't quite work out. He was offsides or neutral zone infraction or what have you, but it was a good effort. The other thing he did, very unfortunate. You don't root for a guy to get injured, but when it's something this small and it takes him out of the game, it's kind of eh. He was really trying to bat a ball from a better quarterback, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and accidentally hit his finger, and that's why he had to go sit on the bench because his fingy hurt. Yeah, I've had that same injury. You get the broken finger. You can play through it if it's a game you actually want to win. Matthew Stafford did it. Matthew Stafford literally played through a broken finger and threw a game-winning touchdown pass. Don't tell me it's not possible. Yeah, Okereke was a leader on that defense for the Giants today. Xavier McKinney as well. Good defensive performance. They really only let up in the second half when the ball game was already won because you had the 2 Saquon Barkley touchdowns aided by field position from guys like Darren Waller, Darius Slayton, and especially Wan'Dale Robinson. Darius Slayton had himself a nice touchdown catch from Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor had a solid passing day. Only that one interception. When he was kind of trying to force the ball to Sterling Shepard. Would have been nice to get Sterling Shepard a final touchdown with the New York Giants, but oh well, at least he's 5th overall in franchise history receptions as a New York Giant. He had 300 yards passing today, the 1 touchdown to Darius Slayton. Saquon Barkley did get over 100 scrimmage yards on the day, but, as I said before, unfortunately not 1,000 rushing yards. He has over 1,000 scrimmage yards on the season easily because Saquon Barkley is a receiving back, and it's a shame the Giants don't use his pass-catching abilities a lot more. But, in this game, they had the one huge 46-yard reception to him. Simple wheel route, boom, take him, and he just runs up the field. It was great. Just such a great game. But the New York Football Giants end the season in style. Everything I wanted to see. I was having so much fun watching this game because why not beat the Eagles when it only cost you 1 draft pick against a team that isn't going to take a quarterback? You're talking about the Chargers, who have Justin Herbert, who I already said was a great quarterback. Why would they need a quarterback? The Giants might be able to use a quarterback. So, they'll be able to trade up. Maybe Jaden Daniels will fall to them. The only thing you have to worry about with going back that 1 draft pick that you would go back is someone trading up with the Chargers to get that quarterback. And that's going to be on Joe Schoen to prevent that possibility if he really wants Jaden Daniels or another quarterback that he's in love with. And I don't want the Giants to take a quarterback if it's not their guy. The entire season is for naught if the Giants just take a quarterback to take a quarterback. If they take a guy like Neighbors, I'll be really excited because that's a good NFL wide receiver. If they take Jaden Daniels, I'll be excited because I will know that is the quarterback that the Giants want. That's who Joe Schoen wants. Whoever he takes, I just need it to be the guy. I need to have that feeling like, yes, that is the guy you wanted in the draft. Let's go. So, Giants end the season the best way possible. Morale high going into next season. And this is huge because you come off last season with a devastating loss. And I really feel like these things trickle into next season. It's very unfortunate, but I really believe that's the case. I don't have the best example to point to off the top of my head, but I'll just go with last season. You lose a horrible game to a division rival, get knocked out of the playoffs in the worst possible fashion. You turn around, guess what your first game next season is? 40-0 to another divisional rival named the Dallas Cowboys. Absolutely terrible, an absolute embarrassment. Even worse, it was on Sunday Night Football because everyone thought it would be a decent game at least. But this season ultimately ended up with the Giants beating a hated divisional rival in a game that they had everything to play for, and the Giants were just playing football to play football. Great win. I really hope this carries the next season, and I think it will because I think this franchise is looking up. You have Brian Daboll, who's a great head coach. He had these guys competing late in the season. Even go back against the Rams, the other Eagles game, this Eagles game. This team was competing late. I'm hopeful. I'll have some off-season videos and some random stuff. But, until then, whatever I end up making, see you guys in the next one.